All right, I'm in a thrift store in Los Angeles for about an hour today, and I thought I would bring you along. I picked up a few good things, including this Lululemon jacket, which the style I looked up is called the Fleecy Keen jacket, and it has an unusual element, which I'll show you in a second. But I did find the size dot. It's a size 12, which is fantastic. It does have some light pilling, a couple loose strings, but this hood is actually connected to this center part that can be removed. So you can zip out that center part, and it can be a great spring fall jacket without the hood, or it can be a nice winter layer with the hood. So I decided to grab that. I'm expecting probably right around $60. I'm always excited to see a Ralph Lauren purple label. I've had some good luck with this line. It's their highest line from the Ralph Lauren family. And I do have a 20% off coupon for all of these items that aren't on sale. So this is regular price, but with the 20%, it'll bring it down a couple dollars. Comps for this style vest range from about $50 to $200. So I grabbed that. This is a Madewell size 2X, which is fantastic. I didn't realize in the store it's actually new with tags, which was even better. It's a great color, and again, regular price, but I do have that 20% off coupon, so not a bad deal there. Here's another Ralph Lauren label that I like to find. I'm struggling a bit because I don't have a cart or a bag, and so I'm holding everything and struggling, as you can see. But this is the double RL label, and there was a tag attached. It maybe was a boutique tag. I'm not saying it's new with tags because it also could just be another thrift store, but this line is fairly expensive, and the comps for similar items like this sweater are around that $100 mark. So I was pretty excited to pick that up, and I did find a cart. So this was a rough day for me. I found out some really terrible news with one of my closest family members, and I was having a hard time, but this was actually a good distraction. So here are a few more things that I picked up. I decided to grab this to try on for myself. I go to a lot of yoga classes, and sometimes it's just nice to have a lightweight long sleeve top to start the classes, and this is the thermal top by Free People. These thermals with the sleeve accents do fairly well. It's a size large, so even if I don't decide to keep it, I will be able to flip it and probably get, $30, $35. This is an All Saints sweater. It's a men's sweater that I found in the women's section. This unfortunately was shrunk a little bit, but it's oversized intentionally. It even says oversized on the tag, so it just seemed like a really good quality piece, and I still grabbed it just because the hood, the kangaroo pocket, and yeah. Here's an adorable star print blouse by the brand Marine Layer. I don't think I've ever sold any kind of decorative blouses, but this was a dollar item, and this brand does fairly well. Comps for that exact top were right around that $35 mark, so I grabbed it. This pair of overalls I was excited to see because I recently picked them up, and Sarah Jessica Parker is actually a fan of these exact overalls. Unfortunately, there was a tear that I noticed, so I would have grabbed them if I didn't notice the tear, but I left those behind. So I don't think I've ever actually been to this store. There's just so many Goodwills in the Southern California area, so it's always fun to go to a new one. I was in the area because I needed to get a tow hitch put onto my car, and sadly, they were missing a part. So it was kind of a frustrating day all around. But here was an Anthropologie top I was kind of looking at. I think it was my size, so I was kind of thinking maybe for me, but I decided to leave that one behind. I did find this really fun, colorful sweater that had these rainbow colors all over it, and you'll see here in a second. I didn't recognize the brand, but when I looked it up, here we go. This, it kind of looked like maybe a Madewell sweater when I first found it, but it's called Lazy Oaf. I'll show you the tag in a second, but I was just looking at the material content. I just didn't recognize the brand, and sure enough, some of these exact sweaters sell for that $50 mark. This had a couple loose strings, but it seemed to be in pretty good condition. Size small, but definitely an oversized fit. And here's the tag, and I've never seen anyone pick it up that I've watched. So yeah, I decided to grab that. The shoe section at this store was very strange. It was kind of split up all around the store. So I found a rack that there were no people around, and I spotted these Madewell sandals. They're called the Evelyn Slide Clog. and they are pretty small, 5.5, but they appeared to have not been worn outside, so pretty good condition. A really cute style, especially for spring and summer. So these did retail for $168, and I decided to grab those. These are a pair of Corkies. I do occasionally pick up this brand, but there were quite a few signs of wear, especially on the sides. It was kind of this velvet feel, and I didn't think that would be easy to kind of clean up. It is going into the right season, but if these were maybe 50% off or $1, I would have grabbed them, but I thought it was a little risky. This is a new brand to me, and I was really excited to learn about it. I think it's LOQ, so maybe lock. And this is the Carmen Mule. And if you can see the heel right there, they really have these unusual styles. And this pair of shoes retailed for $325. So I'm expecting about $70 for those. So that's pretty great. I spotted these camper sandals in another shoe section, and I've had decent luck with the camper men's shoes that I've picked up, but I don't think I've ever tried to sell women's shoes. So it is a pretty expensive brand. I probably should have left these behind because there were a couple signs of wear on it, but they are still cute and going into the right season. I'm still maybe expecting about that $30 mark. So here's a Marc by Marc Jacobs blouse. And while it's kind of a cute print and style, at full price, I think they even had it marked up a little bit. It just wasn't worth it. This kind of blouse, I'd probably only get about $25 for it, so I decided to leave that behind. Here's a brand that I love picking up. It's Equipment Femme. I loved it was Martini glass, I think is what's on there. Anyways, I definitely would have picked this up, but when I was kind of inspecting it, I noticed that there were a couple of spots, and these are silk blouses, so not easy to treat. If this were $1, I maybe would have picked it up because they were minor spots, but I do love this brand. I thought it was safest if I left this one behind. If you watch my second channel, the car camping channel, you know I do a lot of car camping, and I use my Yeti cooler and mug all the time. So I love finding Yeti, but it just doesn't resell for very much, or at least most items I find. So I probably would have only been able to get about $15 for that. So it definitely wasn't worth paying full price. Here's a brand. I didn't pick this item up, but I have sold this brand a couple times. It's Enza Costa, I think. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but this is just kind of a basic top, but occasionally that brand can do fairly well. So I do occasionally pick it up. Here's a Hill Bob top that I was kind of thinking about grabbing. Another brand I occasionally pick up. It had a cute design on the bottom, but I just thought it was a little too risky at full price. I probably would have only gotten about $25 for that. So here's a top I did pick up. It's absolutely adorable, but I actually returned it because there were some subtle stains that I didn't notice. And this is Meadow Rue by Anthropologie. I just thought this was the perfect spring blouse. You could wear it with shorts or jeans. You could kind of dress it up, dress it down, but I really loved the style. So sadly I did return that, but I thought it was a cute one. Here's another one that I had to return. I think I only returned 2 items from this day. This is Rails. It has a heart print. I thought it was adorable, but also it had a faint stain, and I thought it was a little too risky to try and stain treat. So I returned that, but if it didn't have the stain, I probably would have kept it and resold it. Here's a dress I was thinking about, so I kind of had it sitting in my cart. It's by a brand Long Tall Sally. I've sold this brand a couple times, and I think it's a UK brand, but the comps aren't really that great. And if this were $1 or half off, I maybe would have grabbed it. It was a good size. I think it was an 18, but I just thought it was a little too risky. It might only sell for $25, $30, so I decided to leave that behind. Here's a sweater I found. It's by the brand Pure Collection. I've tried to sell this brand before, and it does have fairly mixed comps. A lot of people list these for around 50 or 60. I thought this neutral color and the sleeves had a subtle balloon style, so I grabbed it, and I'm hoping for about 40. This is an Anthropologie top I've sold before, and while it was a $1 item, I didn't think it was worth it. It had some light pilling. I know that the style is probably only going to get about $15 to $18, and it wasn't worth it, even at $1. Here's a Joie top that just was too basic, not worth looking up. Here's a Free People top that I thought was adorable, kind of this sheer, loved the boho print and style, but I just didn't think it was worth it at that price. Even with the 20% off, I probably would have only gotten about 20 to 25 for that top. So you can see today's color is purple. I only found $1 item, but it's time to check out and head home. So I hope you enjoyed this thrift with me. I'll see you in the next one.